Hello there, and welcome to another episode of City Sim Builds. And we are back here in Two Rivers County, and in the previous episode, we did quite a bit. We were having some issues with all the trucks we've created with the different industries that we have. So I placed a cargo train terminal here by the new farm, and I also placed another cargo train terminal over here by the oil industry. The other thing that I did in the very beginning of the episode was I came over here and created a slip lane so that we don't have any more traffic backups here, and this is working very, very well for us right now. So we'll keep an eye on this as things progress, but as you can tell, there's not really any traffic over here, and that is ideal. The other thing that we did was we got started on our county seat. And the county seat really incorporates three different, city network planning concepts. One of them being just your basic grid. This is a 10 by 10 unit grid. And then the other one, I took this from Savannah, Georgia, where you have these larger grids that have these little parks in the middle. And they're connected by these roads here that act as also good pedestrian walkways between. And then the thing that we're going to be working on in the future, which is the third, network concept, is a fan district. And the fan district, what it's going to do here eventually is it's maybe somewhere along in here, we're going to have a road that fans off. Then we'll have it probably will start back here. We'll have a road that fans off, and then we'll have another one that fans off here, and then another one that fans off here. And it's going to create this like arc pattern, which is going to be pretty cool. But at the same time, it's also going to be very linear. I'm trying not to have any actual arcs here in the roadway. I want it to feel linear and like a grid and have it mesh up nicely over here as well. But as you can see, we're only about maybe not quite halfway filled in with our county seat. And one of the reasons is because we don't really have great road access over here. At the end of the last episode, I talked about placing a couple interchanges, and I've been thinking about this. As this area grows, we're probably going to need 3 interchanges. And that's because this area is going to also extend over here and over here as well. And additionally, it's going to curve around this way. Likely we'll probably have a 4th interchange over here because we'll just need all that access from the highway to make it over here. And at some point I do also want to bring rail over here as well, so that's another consideration. But for today I'm going to be focusing on these 3 interchanges, and the first one is going to be connecting this road all the way up here, and we're going to have a very tight diamond interchange. And the second one is going to be right here, and for this one I'm thinking it might be a partial cloverleaf. And then the third one is going to be right over here. And for this one, I'm going to do a roundabout interchange. And this is not the kind of roundabout interchange that you would see in maybe Europe, where you have like a roundabout either over or under the freeway and then connect your ramps up to it. It's going to actually look a lot like a diamond, but where the ramps come in and connect to this road here, they're going to be 2 roundabouts on either side of the highway. So before we get into today's episode, if you could hit the subscribe button and also like the video, that would really help me out. Also drop a comment down below, anything you feel like, how your day's going, or if there's anything that you see that looks weird or whatever. And yeah, so with that, let's get into today's episode and get started on these interchanges. All right, so the first one that I think is going to be the trickiest one is going to be this one, and that's because of the grades. And also, if you come up here, we have this rock formation that is going to be very challenging to work around. So I'm really gonna, I think, struggle to make this one work, but I'm going to do my best. So the first thing I want to do is get out of cinematic mode and let's do some landscaping. So I'm going to drop the brush strength here, and this is going to be also an underpass. And I think actually all these will be underpasses of the existing highway. So I think we're going to meet up somewhere in here. So I want to find an elevation that works. So I think maybe something like this, and then we'll terraform there. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to go into... And so now that I have this like little flat area, I want to use that as a reference point to make these segments here a bridge section. So I'm going to grab our current freeway segment and pop in here, and then make sure that this is an elevated section, and then we're going to grade separate right there. I'm going to go ahead and clear out through here and see if we have enough clearance through here to make what I want to happen work. All right, let's pop into the network multi-tool and see if we can flatten out this section through here. Okay, that kinda worked. I don't know why the bridge is wavy like this. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not liking that. I'm gonna, I think, manually use move it to make some adjustments here. And I wanna make sure that I'm grabbing both of these nodes so I can move them up at the same time. Okay, that's looking much, much, much better. And then from here, we'll adjust the grades here again. But before we do that, we need to get started with building the road. And to make it up here, it's going to be kind of challenging. We're going to have to maybe do a switchback over here and then come back around and then meet here. So let's get started on that. All right, that's a little bit drastic. I'm not a fan of that. And I can't Control Z that and undo it. I'm going to flatten this part back out. And let me rethink this. And I think this is going to be, looking at it, it's going to be too steep. So I'm going to need a higher elevation here. All right, I think that'll give us a starting point for placing our roads. So let's place the road underneath here first. About like that. All right, that's roughly what I want to do. And I know I'm gonna have some challenges in here. Yeah, right off the bat, I'm gonna have to go ahead and raise this node up a little bit. And then same thing down here. And then we'll do this one. And I think from there, hopefully we should be able to get the slopes at least below 10. From here to here should be pretty much flat. Yeah, 1%. So let's go from here down to here. 5.6. All right, I'm liking that. And let's go all the way down to here. 4.8. All right, I'm liking that. All right, 4.6. It's almost like I have done this before. I am very pleased with that. So let's go in and see if we can place our ramps. These right here are going to be the easier ones. These are going to be trickier. So it's going to go ahead and require me to grade through here. And it's going to be really tight. This is where you would have walls on the side of the mountain. You would likely see this be like exposed rock and be like reinforced, and might have some netting over it and things like that. But this is City Skylines. We're not really dealing with that. So we're gonna cut through here. Okay, that actually wasn't as terrible as I thought it was gonna be. So let's connect up this one as well. And then actually this one might be pretty tricky. Might have to start this one back like right here. Let's get some ramps in and see how things are looking. All right, let's pop into node controller and see what's going on with these nodes. I almost feel like this didn't really connect up well. Let's try that again. That's looking better. Actually, before we do this, let's go ahead and upgrade these to ramps. All right, just kind of makes looking at this a little bit easier without all the different, zoning stuff here. Actually, I think I could probably turn that off. All right, let's take a look at our nodes and node controller. I really wish Control-Shift-S would work, but it's not. So I'm gonna have to manually square these up. So I'll be back in a bit. And I'm not a fan of this one. I'm gonna redo this section here. All right, that was giving me, I think, way too much trouble. So let's square this up. All right, with the exception of slopes, I think this looks pretty good through here. Like, gotta take care of that. All right, much better. Ooh, and 12.6 is not a good, not a good grade. 8.3. Wonder if we can raise things up on this side a little bit. Yeah, I think we can. I think we have enough bridge clearance for that. All right, 10.4. I think the problem here is that this ramp might be too short, so I'm gonna extend it a little further out. All right, we got it below 10. I'm gonna take that as a win. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. It's quite the intense structure, but I'm gonna upgrade this road and then terraform so it doesn't look as crazy, and then we'll move on to the second interchange. All right, and that's looking much, much better. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next interchange. And before we do this, I think one of the things that we're really going to need is a 4-lane road. This is really going to be a principal arterial, or if not the principal arterial. So I'm going to go ahead and make that change now. And we're just going to use move it to relocate that for a second. But let's pick out a nice 4-lane section. I'm kind of liking this one with the decorative trees. Yeah, let's go with that one. And then what we'll do is we'll extend this up this way to eventually go underneath the highway right here. So let's go ahead and make the highway once again an elevated section. I think I might shift this over a little bit, and I'm gonna move this roadway, yeah, and redo that. So now we'll grab some terrain through here. So I want to come to about here, I think. Just want to get something kind of roughed in right there. I'm not quite liking that. Let's back it off a little bit. I really want this to be at a 90. Let's try that. All right, much, much better. And for this one, I'm going to extend this area out a little bit further because we're going to do a park low like this. All right, after much fiddling, I think this is going to be it for the park low. This doesn't look the prettiest, but I think I'm done with it. So let's upgrade these to ramps and check everything in no controller and then smoothen out the terrain. All right, I think that is looking pretty good. I'm gonna unpause the game and see how things progress through here. And let's come through and double check to make sure that we don't have any issues with the ramp directions. So I think we're good. Yep, we're good. We already have a couple people taking the new ramps. Let's check back in on the county seat. And also don't forget to please let me know if you have any name suggestions for what the county seat should be named. But yeah, I think that is looking good. I'd be curious to see how many people actually start taking the freeway here in a little bit. Oh, and we got some proceed through issues here. Let's go into TMPE. I'm not sure what the issue is with that one. Let's see if it resolves itself over time. Yeah, and people are slowing down right here. I don't understand why. Is it a speed thing? No? Well, first of all, that's way too high, but I'm kind of puzzled on this. I'm gonna try and figure this out and I'll be back in a little bit. All right, things are fine here now. I guess it was a node issue. There were two nodes here and the game did not appreciate that, apparently. We're actually getting a lot of utilization out of this one. I'm kind of surprised. Well, I guess I shouldn't be, because this is a direct connection from across the river. So let's come down here and take a look at the cloverleaf. God, that's a big, big loop, but it's okay. We can maybe landscape, put some more trees around there, and make it feel a bit better. But all right, let's move on to the last interchange for today's episode, which is going to be this one, and that's going to be, again, a roundabout interchange. All right, and for this one, I'm going to extend this road up here just to see where a good spot might be for this. So I'm going to target this area for making an elevated section on the freeway. All right, perfect. So now, just like the other ones, I'm going to reduce the brush strength, and I'm going to grab an elevation that's a bit lower, and we'll see if we can cut into where we made the elevated section. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So for this, I'm going to slope down like that, and let's pick our road, and then we will continue this through here. All right, and before I do this, I'm gonna flatten out the area where we're gonna have our roundabouts. I'm trying to get an idea. I'm gonna use a radius of 40. It's kind of like the minimum that I typically use. And it's gonna be much more drastic over here, but we'll smooth things out and everything will be all good. That was probably a little too much, but it's fine. It's fine. All right, let's get our roundabouts in place. So find that node, pop it in there. I kind of want this to be, or not kinda, I do want this to be even. So I think that's looking pretty good. Let's see if we can, yeah, it might be a smidge off, but I think that is okay. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, we could probably extend it a little further. I think I got rid of the measure it tool. I wish I had that right now. But what I can do is roughly try and measure. So that is 8 units and that is 7 units. So if we do something here, it should be pretty even. I know it's 1 off, but it still should be okay. That just doesn't look right to me. I'm gonna have to carry this out a couple more units. It's gonna be a trial and error. All right, I think that looks even. It's hard because it's at a skew here. It's not like a perfect 90, but yeah, I'm gonna roll with that. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and try and just place a couple little markers here where I'm gonna try and put these ramps, and I want this to be even on both sides for the most part. It's a little far. This will go ahead and create a node for us. And then from here, I'm going to slope down to here. We'll do the same thing on this side. Let's go ahead and place our ramps actually where they're going to be. All right, let's remove these little nubs. And then I'm gonna check slopes. All right, that looks pretty good. Nice. All right. It makes it easier when the terrain is flat. 9.7, I'm gonna take that all day. 0.4. It's interesting that this is 9.7 and then this is 0.4. It's like something is off, but it's what it says. I don't believe that is 0.7, but okay. Yeah, 10.4. Okay. I have to extend this one a little further. All right, 8.6. That is looking good. And I might do the same thing on this side just for, having it look better. All right, 8.1. That's way more reasonable. Okay, let's pop in a node controller and fix our nodes and then soften the terrain after that, and then I think we should be good. All right, nice. I am liking that. Oh, this bridge is not correct. Okay, let's fix that real quick. That is looking a little bit better. Oh, and it's this North American freeway business. Okay, that's better. We actually have rails, guardrails there now. Okay, nice. Couple weird sections there. Should take care of it. And this is a little too like bumpy and stuff. I'm gonna move this out a little bit. I think that's looking better. And we can play around with this. And I just want to make sure we had the correct ramp type, because I think I was using two different ones, and I think I see one more spot here. There we go. Okay. All right, that's looking really, really nice. I am digging that. Okay. So I'm gonna speed things up and see if we get any utilization of this. We probably won't at this point in time because it is, there's really no need. I mean, most people are gonna take this anyway. So yeah, curious what this does to what we did last time. We already are, yeah, we're already seeing more activity here. So I'm gonna let things run and we'll see if things progress here a little bit further. All right, I guess things are filling in a little bit more. We're definitely getting more activity through here. And this is starting to look how I want it to look. I think I'm gonna look for a few more assets to place in here. And yeah, I'd like to get a little bit more density, but this is starting to feel like how I want it to feel. Let's go take a look at the interchanges. So nobody's using this yet, but I think that's gonna change in the future. We are starting to see some activity here at the cloverleaf. And it's really probably only going to be limited to this ramp and this cloverleaf. Whoa, that was so weird. Some weird movement. Okay. But we'll come back and check things out here later on in the next episode. And then we are definitely seeing a lot of activity over here. So I wonder what this has done to our traffic overall. So our traffic has improved to 80%, so that's good. I think at the beginning, oh no, it dropped to 79. So we've only gone up by a couple percentage points, but I think over time, this will really have a pretty big benefit. So with that, I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed what we did today, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to leave a comment down below and like the video. That will really, really help me out. But I'm looking forward to seeing you all back here in Two Rivers County. But until then, I hope you all are doing well, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right, bye.